What up, what up? This is Tony A with YORUBADE. So I came across an interesting article that really made me think, and I think it's information that we should know about and we should learn from. So we all have certain feelings about the Chinese people in Africa, and it's not the greatest perception of them for obvious reasons. But what I try to do is just learn from whoever. When it comes to business, I try to learn from those that are really killing it. And we gotta admit that the Chinese people are killing it in Africa. And I don't believe it's just, oh, they're Chinese, they're different, they're not black, and that's why people are worshiping them. No, the Chinese people are creating value for these African politicians that allows them to have this type of privilege of going in and doing what they want to do. So now instead of just getting upset with what we see and just chastising the Africans and beating them down, saying, okay, what are you doing? That doesn't help. How about we just understand what the Chinese people are doing and take what they're doing right and we do it ourselves so that we can compete. Like I believe if we're on the continent and we're doing legit good business, the people there would rather deal with us than the Chinese, and the Chinese will go out of business because we're the same. At the end of the day, we look the same family, lineage, like tribe. We're the same people. They rather deal with us than the Chinese. But the Chinese are bringing in the products, and they're doing the damn thing, and we're not competing against them. So yeah, they're winning right now. But I have this article that is does talk about these seven Chinese companies that made it to Africa or made it in Africa. And I'm gonna give me a second. Make sure captcha in there, and you can see it. And I'm just gonna read the article, make some comments. But yeah, I mean, we should learn from learn from the people who don't like. If they're doing something right. They're making money. How are they making money and how are they so freaking good? Like when I went to Nigeria, I knew there was a lot of Chinese people in there. I didn't know to what extent. And there's Indians and Lebanese, and I was just like, wait a minute. It can't just be that they look close to the white man. Like I don't believe that they are providing value, and they continue to stay and they continue to get rich. So why is it so difficult for us to be in that position? Like we should come over, do business, and we should take over the foreigners space because we're from the land. They're not. But yeah, so I try to learn from everyone, even the colonizer, what they was doing right, because they were succeeding. They developed systems, and the rest is history, really. So Chinese. Okay, so China's growing commercial involvement in Africa has been well documented. However, a new study by McKinsey and Company suggests that the number of Chinese businesses in Africa are much greater than previously thought. It estimates that there are more than 10,000 Chinese-owned firms in the continent today. Now, how many African or Black, American Black businesses are operating in Africa? So, if Africa is so poor, how are these Chinese companies making all this? How are they becoming millionaires? That's the thing. There's money over there, money over there. Africa-based Chinese enterprises are making respectable profits. Nearly a quarter recovered their initial investment in 12 months, while 50% reported it took them 3 years or less. Okay, so about 25% get their money within 12 months. Usually, yeah, usually you're not profitable in a business. I think average is like about 3 years or 5 years of actually making profit. So to do it in 12 for that amount of people to be doing it in 12 months, I want to know their business plan and their strategy. Like I'm really curious on how do they just get it. I mean, maybe they got connections with other Chinese people that are really doing stuff, but uh, uh okay. Let me see. Okay. So one of the reasons for their success is that Chinese entrepreneurs are prepared to act boldly and swiftly, often at considerable personal risk to build a business. Oh shit! I would. They're hungry. They hungry because China don't got space and don't got resources like that. So when you look at Africa, it's like right there. They're just like, oh shit, this is easy. You got plenty of resources. It's easy to do business. It's cheaper. What? I gotta read that again. One of the reasons for their success is that Chinese entrepreneurs are prepared to act boldly and swiftly, often at considerable personal risk to build their business. How comfortable are we in America? Like we're so comfortable, like we just that's why we're not over there. And we struggle here. Like all the bills we have to pay, all the racism that we have to go deal with, the white supremacy, like we deal with so much trauma. Wouldn't life just be easier if we just go over there and just build the businesses and start working with the locals, and we got good food, clean air, clean water, really. Damn, this, I mean, they hungry. I gotta give it to them. How we made it in Africa takes a closer look at a few Chinese companies successfully operating on the continent. Techno Products Tailored for Africa estimates about 90% of Chinese companies in Africa are privately owned. These firms work towards their own profit motives, challenging the belief that most Chinese investment in Africa is coordinated through the state. One such private venture is mobile phone brand Techno, owned by Chinese-based Transsion Holdings, which has achieved market share as high as 40% in some East African countries, despite the presence of global competitors. Techno's devices are generally affordable price and has features specifically tailored for the African countries where it operates. For instance, it was the first major brand to introduce a keyboard in Amharic, Ethiopia's official language, and its devices include photo software to better capture darker skin tones. So they know who their customers are and they're tailoring their product for that customer. So they're adding value and they're reaping the rewards. I mean, how can you hate on that? uh, so Thai Ford state of the art factory run by locals about 2 hours from Kenya's capital Nairobi. In a mostly rural area stands the Thai Ford ceramic tile factory, constructed in just 8 months. A factory constructed in 8 months in 2015. What? It took the McKinsey team some time to arrange a visit to the Thai Ford factory, as the managers, like many other Chinese business people in Africa, prefer to keep a low profile. That's the opposite of us, right? Well, say now that's a generalization. I'm not gonna say that. There's a lot of let's just from what I've seen, there's a lot of Nigerian business people that like to flaunt their wealth, and it would be nice if they can be more discreet with their lifestyle. But the facility is a joint venture between two Chinese firms, Sunda Group and Kita Clean Energy Company. Sunda started out by importing tiles from China into Nigeria, but has since launched its own manufacturing operations in a number of African countries. Its partner Kita is a Shanghai-based supplier of industrial machinery. Damn. And Nigeria sells a lot of tile. And I had a feeling that it was coming from China. So they used to import it and then they start manufacturing it, which is what we need to do. And Man, there's so many opportunities. But the majority of this modernist factories workers, including management, are Kenyan. That's good. Debunking the myth that Chinese companies don't employ locals. Well, they don't want them in managerial positions, really. In fact, 89% of employees at the more than 1,000 companies McKinsey talked to were African. It is estimated that Chinese-owned businesses already provide work for millions of Africa. So this is, yeah, they can employ a lot of Africans, but these Africans are not in management positions. So on one hand, it's good that they're given employment. I mean, it can't be all Chinese people working in these factories anyway. So they have to have Africans, but they're gonna make sure that Africans don't have power. Which, if I'm being real, I understand because if I have a business and I'm in someone else's area, I will hire the locals, but I want the top leaders to be my people. So I understand it. Huawei. I know about this one. I think they do phones. Telecommunications, yeah, company Huawei is an example of a Chinese operator whose technology has enabled African companies to boost their service levels. In 2015, Kenyan mobile operator Safaricom migrated. Okay, the benefits of the new system include faster transaction. Da, 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 da. Chinese companies are involved in a substantial transfer of technology in Africa. Nearly 50% have introduced a new product or service, and over a third have brought in new technology. 50, what? Wow. Okay. Sunshine Group, multi-sectorial player, is an example of a Chinese company which started out in one industry and expanded to others. Founded in Tanzania in 2012, it initially focused on mining but has since into sectors including agriculture, manufacturing, and transport. The company has invested around $100 million in projects such as gold smelting facility, agro processing plants, and a card printing facility that produces bank and phone cards. Really big on manufacturing. That's where good money is at. Mining is tricky. You definitely have to have connections with the government in order to get mining permits. And in this situation, I do feel there's bribery and corruption when it comes to Chinese people getting these permits. So I've heard about it, never read about it. Star Times, making pay television accessible. Broadcasting company Star Times has grown into one of the continent's top paid television providers. Okay, yeah, we should be reading books. But for instance, in Tanzania, Star Times has lowered the local price of paid television by up to 90%. And in Kenya, the company has introduced a digital satellite television to rural parts of the country. Okay. Bobu Africa catering. Okay, not all Chinese companies in Africa are large industrial enterprises. Travel agency Bobu Africa was launched by a young Chinese couple to introduce authentic African culture to Chinese tourists who are showing increasing interest to visit the continent. The founders developed an array of interesting travel routes, including visits to craft workshops, enabling local artisans to boost their incomes. Fall manufacturing for the domestic market. Research found that Chinese factories in Africa are predominantly serving the domestic market, with 93% of the revenues of the manufacturers it interviewed originating from local or regional sales. An example is a large business targeting domestic buyers. Okay. Truck manufacturer has invested 50 million in an assembly plant in South Africa, which produces about 5,000 vehicles annually for both the South African market and other African countries. And okay, that's it. So there you have it. You have a whole bunch of Chinese companies that are doing the damn thing. They come in, invest with their money. I think the second Bobu was a Chinese couple, so they're not freaking all millionaires. They're doing extremely well, and I think it will be wise of us to understand how they do business. Now, one of the videos I have on my channel, I talked about an Indian guy. He gave me he was actually telling me about how he looks out for his people from India when they come over to America. And what he does is he sets them up with businesses from the jump. He was also showing me just like the different um, business incomes he was doing, like jewelry. At the time, I was doing inspections for his businesses. So he has rental property, commercial property, like really doing it well. And he said he came to the country on, of course, on visa. And what did he start off doing? He was working at a corner store, and then he learned about the business, ended up owning a liquor store, then put in an ATM, and I mean he just blew up. He started like just acquiring more businesses, and I mean he's a millionaire for sure. And he was just telling me the game of how he looks out for his people, and I was just amazed. So check out check out that video. I'll try to see if I can put a card, so it should come up on the screen somewhere now. And just check out that video of what he taught me. But yeah, there's a lot that we can learn from people we don't really have a favorable look on. So when it comes to the Chinese people in Africa, yeah, it rubs us a certain way, but let's at least learn from them. Let's not be emotional about it. Let's be proactive. Let's really try to be strategic about, okay, so they're doing this. We can replicate what they're doing, and then because it's us, we market that like, hey, look, we're not foreigners. We're here, black like you. Support our businesses, quality, and we can start shifting, just the way that business is done and how Chinese come over. Like they probably won't be looked at as favorable anymore to government officials. But if this video was helpful, then please like the video, leave a comment if you have anything to share, and follow me on Instagram if you want to see just the events that I attend when I'm not on camera. I hope you all continue to work on being great and stay blessed.